Hello to each and every one of you. We are back for season 4 of Future Educators Talk. It has been a while, you guys, but this summer we have been preparing for this new season of Future Educators Talk that we are so excited about, and you guys should get excited as well. So I am, of course, Damian Anderson, your host of
And
Future
I'm
Educators Talk.
and
My bad.
I am also Andrew Fretch, another host of this fantastic podcast. We are celebrating our 1 year anniversary today. Yes,
Yes.
that is right.
Yes.
On August 6th, 2019 is the debut day that we have started our podcast. So on today's episode for this season premiere, we want to talk about the struggles. We're gonna talk to you about what happened a year ago and how far we have come.
Yes.
1 year.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, before we get started, I know that we told you guys that our new co-host, KJ, was going to join us for our premiere episode, but unfortunately he cannot. But he will join us in the second episode. So this episode right here, the premiere episode, is just us. Just here. We're celebrating our 1 year anniversary today. So I'm so happy. I really am.
Yes. So without all that jibber jabbing out the way,
Yeah.
let us begin this lovely trip down memory lane because boy oh boy, it was a struggle.
Oh, yes, it was, people. Yes, it was.
We want to how it started. We want to tell you who came up with the idea of Future Educators
Yes.
Talk, and also we want to talk to you about some bloopers. There might be
Yeah.
some bloopers.
Some behind the scenes, people.
Yes.
Behind the scenes of what really what's going on behind of making each episode of these podcasts here. So let's just begin. Let's get this party started here.
Yes. Let's begin. So, as many of you know, that we started our broadcast on August 6th, 2019. But on August 5th, though, is the day that we recorded the promo of our broadcast. So really August 5th, but actually we didn't actually start recording episodes on August 6th. So who came up with the idea? I think that's what everybody's
Yes.
is wondering right now.
Yes. Who came up?
with Future Educators Talk. Well, truth be told, actually I did. I came up with the idea of Future Educators Talk because here's the reason why. Number one, it was originally, I was supposed to make a broadcast with my best friend about some romance and about drama. It used to be called. We was going to start a broadcast called the Roma Central, talking about our personal lives, her issues, my issues, about the romance and everything. Well, that did not go into plan. We didn't actually start it. And then I was like, well, since I haven't seen a whole lot of education podcasts, let me text my good friend Damian and see if he wants to, hop along this long 1 year journey with me. Talk about issues that no educator wants to talk about, and sure enough, he hopped on. Here we are now, four seasons later. How you doing? So it's been a pleasure to be working with someone that has the same mindset as me.
Yes.
Because it's just incredible because that's how two things work along each other.
Mhm. Exactly, exactly. And yes, when you brought up this to me about creating an education podcast, well, first, and I believe I've told this story already. I'm gonna be serious with you guys. Please don't like judge me for this, but I'm gonna be serious here. I did not know what a podcast was. Seriously, I did not know. I mean, seriously, I did not had no idea. Like he was texting me saying, "You want to start an education podcast?" And I had to think for a second. It's like, okay, I know education. What is a podcast? So I had to literally you got search it up, and I was like, oh, I, I, I really, I didn't know. I didn't know it was called that. I mean, I heard things about it, but I didn't know it was called that. So first I had to think about it because back back in last year, you guys, 2019, I was about to start school, and it was a lot for me, which I will talk about later on. And I wasn't talking that much as you see me right now. Um, so, and I was like, okay, Damien, sooner or later, you are going to have to use your voice. You're going to have to speak up. If you want to be a teacher, you're going to have to talk because that's what teachers do. They talk, talk, talk. So I think about that for a moment. I was like, Damien, it's 2019. You have to change. You have to change. So I immediately text him back saying, yes, let's do this. Let's get on board with this. And here we are now, you guys. Here we are now. And I'm so excited that I did this. I'm so excited because if I did not, you guys, I would not be here today. I would not be speaking up more as I am now. So I'm so glad that you brought it up to me and that you wanted to do a podcast with me.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you're so welcome. And the reason why I've chosen you is because there was no other person that has the same goal as me, that wanted to be a Black male educator.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, that want to be a math teacher. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that is something that I was looking for when choosing a co-host, because at first I'm like, I can't do this alone. You know how hard that is. I cannot do this alone.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of like reach out to you, because I kind of figured that you probably have some topics up that needs to be talked about. And again, here we are now,
Mm-hmm.
4 seasons later, and we're talking
Yeah.
about topics, and it's incredible. Um, so so that answers the question, really
Yes.
the question of the day,
Yeah.
which we'll get to that in just a second. Who
Mm-hmm.
actually came up
Okay.
with that?
Yes.
So the question of the day. So as if you've been listening to our podcast, we have you may have remembered the question of the day, which ran from, I think, for like 2 seasons, and then we
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
Um, the idea of question of the day was to get people to join in the conversation, because I'm pretty sure there are teachers or somebody out there that has the same question as us. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why we created question of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the results of that was bare to none.
Yeah.
So that's why we quit doing that. It's because we wasn't getting enough feedback from them people that listening to our podcast. So that's why we stopped doing question of the day.
Exactly. Exactly right there. And then we also, back in season one, you guys, we started like writing out scripts of like what we are going to say in each episode. And we did that for probably, I think, all the way from the middle of season one. And then, I mean, it was, to me, I didn't quite like that. I wish we hadn't did that in the first place because it's not showing us like who we are. That's just it's not showing our expression. We're not really expressing our thoughts. I mean, we express it on paper and we're just reading from it, but we're not speaking from our hearts. So
Right.
I was like, you know what? Let's stop this because I don't like this right here. We have to speak from our minds and our hearts, what we are actually feeling in that moment that we are recording, episodes instead of writing out, before we record or what we're going to say. That's like, you know what? Stop it. Just stop it with that. So I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, and it took a whole lot of time to.
Oh yes, it did. It did.
Y'all,
Oh
it took a
gosh.
whole lot of time.
Oof.
Because there are days now. When we first started, I wasn't working then, so I had time to, fill in the spots, that I was going to say, da 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 da. But let me tell you something. When I started working, that's when, like, I wouldn't start filling in my spots until either early in the morning or until I get off of work. That was the only time that I could fill in the spots. And it will take me about approximately 30 minutes to an hour. Yes, you heard me right.
Yeah,
30
same
minutes
with me.
to an hour just to fill in the spots that I was going to say, which, again, I didn't really like because that's not, again, that's, no.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's, like you said, that's us speaking on paper,
Yeah.
not speaking out on our heart. That's no,
Yeah.
um,
Exactly.
that's not how broadcasts will work.
No, 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 no.
So we have to, if you want to change, you have to speak about it. It's not on
Yes.
paper,
Uh-huh.
but somewhere. So
Exactly. And back during that time, you guys, I was like preparing to go to college during that time. So yeah, I was like with him, like I just, it took us 30 to an hour to, write out what we're going to say. And it was like too much for me because I was trying to, get ready for college, get ready, start a new chapter in my life and packing and all of that. Just it was too much. It was too much pressure on me. So I'm glad we are not doing that no more. We were never going to do that again.
right, right. Another thing that we have, actually we haven't really, so I think that's really all the questions that everybody been asking
Yes.
since season one. Now I'm gonna tell y'all some things. Let me tell you the struggles, okay? Since season one, let me tell y'all this. Season one was our worst season yet.
Yes.
And
Yes.
here's why. Here's why.
Okay.
You might think, oh my God, first season was the best season ever. No,
No, not for us.
Season one was our worst year ever. Worst year ever. Our worst season ever. And the reason why is because if you haven't already, we're in a different time zone.
Right.
Okay? I'm in the East Coast, Easter time. Like it is currently 5:17 p.m. currently. Over there, where he's at right now, he's in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Central time. Right now over there it's 4:17 p.m. So, and like we have to find time
In our schedules.
Right. Where everything will work. And back then, boy, oh boy. Boy. We would record at like 8:30 at night, 8:30 p.m. You know how I remember? Because I was in the closet. Okay, I was in the closet recording our very first episode. Like, I had to hide in the closet because my aunt will, because she speaks very loud. But I had to hide in the closet. So that's the struggle.
Yeah.
And 8:30 p.m. I mean, I was up, but I wasn't really sure if Damien was going to be up or he was going to go to sleep. Like, I wasn't really sure.
Yeah.
And y'all.
Yeah. And I remember you guys, like, he said that he was in his closet recording the first episode. I was in my room with lots of boxes and bags and stuff everywhere in my room because I was about to go to college. So I had to, like, find a space that would be great for me, and I had to hop on over to all of this. It was too much. I had to do that for, like, throughout the month of August, you guys, until I left. It was rough for me. It was rough.
And then get this. So we recorded like 8:30, like nearly almost before I actually started working. Because I didn't start until the 21st of August. So on that day, that's when things got worse to even worser. Okay. Because on that day, I was working, and actually we didn't record until September 3rd. So that was Labor Day. Now, I was working. That was the day that I had to transition from my training store to the actual store that I was going to work at. So that was the day that I was. That was the day that I had to work. Like, my first day at my store, like my original store.
Mm-hmm.
So on that day, let me tell y'all the time that I had to work on that day. Let me tell y'all.
He has it down for you guys. He has it down.
Let me tell y'all. I had to work from noon to 6:30. Okay. Right after I got off, literally 7 minutes after I got off is when we record the 5th episode. Now, mind you, I just got home.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have time to relax, get situated, or anything. As soon as I got home, record. Yeah. And plus, I was tired. And working 6.5 hours, I was ready to go to sleep and kind of like re-energize. But let me tell you, on that day, I was like, there was just so much happening, like so much learning new stuff after new stuff, learning, just so much, learning to do. And it's